This is a short video about how to navigate the course within Blackboard Learn for Fine Arts Theater. So the first thing you need to do is to log into Blackboard. For your internet browser, you need to use either Firefox or Safari. Google Chrome and Internet Explorer have both shown compatibility problems with Blackboard in the past. So to be safe, you should use Firefox or Safari unless you're testing, in which case you need to use the Respondus Lockdown browser, and I will explain more about that later. So I'm going to use Firefox. There is not a direct link to Blackboard Learn from the A-State website since it's still in the testing phase. So what I would recommend is bookmarking it, but basically it's just bblearn.astate.edu. So you're going to log in like you would normally, your normal login and password. And it'll bring up your Blackboard Learn homepage. Over here are your courses, and you'll see here Fine Arts Theater Spring 2011. When it brings up the home page for our class. The most important thing about the home page is the announcements, which are up here in the left-hand corner. And you can see right here that there is already an announcement, Welcome to Fine Arts Theater. If you need to look at more announcements, you can click on more announcements. There are other things on the home page, calendar, to do, what's new, alerts, things like that. Over here on the left-hand side is the course menu, and this is how you're going to navigate through the course. You'll notice that you can always click on home page to bring you back to the home page. Next thing down is course information. Course information has a lot of documents and information that is in general for the class. So for instance, there's my contact information, the first email that I sent out, the syllabus is here, supporting document for navigating the course, things about the discussion board, basics of testing. These are all documents that are just about the class in general, not specific to a particular topic or chapter in the book. You'll notice also here down at the bottom is a link to the McGraw-Hill website. McGraw-Hill is the publisher of the book, and this is a wonderful tool for you to have. You can see here, it brings you to the website for Theater Brief Version 9th edition, which is what we're using. If you click on Student Edition, it brings up all of these different support things you can do. Choose a chapter, say chapter 2. There are practice quizzes. There are more resources, internet exercises, flashcards, things like that. You never know, you might see some of these questions on a test, so it's definitely a great way for you to study and enhance your learning. So that's all the things that are under course information. Course content is the next item down on the menu, and this is the meat of the course. This is where you'll be going weekly for all the things that you're going to need to do for class. And you can see I've set it up by weeks. We have 15 weeks in the semester, and I've listed it there with a date and everything. Also at the bottom is a place to turn in extra credit play responses if you go see extra credit plays. But for instance, let's say next week for week number 2, you click on it, and what it does is it brings it up. It's like a little folder. The icon, if we go back, you'll see the icon is a folder with little dividers, and so that's sort of the way that things are set up. So it's like having a separate little notebook for every class. So it brings up in the table of contents here. You can minimize the table of contents, maximize the table of contents. You can kind of adjust that, however works best for you. You can either go through the course for the week by clicking on the links here in the table of contents, or you can click through here by moving these arrows or these arrows. But the first thing that's always going to come up is the weekly overview. This is really, really important. You always need to start every week by reading the weekly overview. This is going to give you all the information that you need for the week. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit about that. We'll look at that in just a minute. So for the weekly overview, it gives you a summary of what we're doing that week. It gives you learning objectives, so what I expect you to learn during that week. It also has an assignment checklist, so it tells you everything that you need to do for the week. So obviously the weekly overview is very important, and you should always start every week by using the weekly overview. If there's links to any PowerPoints, any documents that you need, if there's any other websites that you're supposed to look at, etc. So the table of contents for any learning module is going to show you exactly what you need to do for the week. The next item down is the discussion board. This link brings you directly to the discussion board. There's a separate video that you need to watch that talks specifically about the discussion board. It walks you through the forums and the threads and how to reply and all of that. There also is a discussion board grading rubric under course information, and that will tell you a little bit more about what I'm expecting on the discussion board and how I grade them. Also under course information is the breakdown of your small groups. You can see here that there are a few forms that are for everybody: Ask the Instructor, Performance Approval, and Virtual Coffee Shop. But then you see there's groups 1 through 15. The class has been divided into smaller groups of about 7, so you'll need to look under course information for the small group breakdown. Under tools, there are things that you will find helpful as you're sort of navigating through the course. It has a link to the announcements, link to the Respondus Lockdown browser, calendar, contacts, link to the discussion board. You can send people emails, and also has your grades listed here and a user guide for Blackboard Learn. So those are all important things to do. And then the last thing is help, which brings you directly to the Blackboard Learn help site. So if you have any questions about that, you can go there. You can also always call ITS and see if they can give you some information. So those are the basics. Homepage is sort of the basics of where everything is, and the announcements are there. Course information has all the basics for the course, but then it's really the course content where you're going to be spending the majority of your time. And that is a little bit more about how to navigate the course within Blackboard.